All right, Vince, hit him in the head, right between the eyes. Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
Hey guys, thanks for downloading this episode of the Obsessive Viewer Podcast. This is Matt talking, and I just want to let you know that this is a very special episode of the podcast, as it was recorded live at the Irving Theater for our Shocktober in Irvington event. It was something we've been wanting to do for a long time, and it's been in the works for a while. We announced it at PopCon, and it finally came to fruition and went off really well. I want to let you know ahead of time that if you're in the Indianapolis area and want to check out some awesome events, go to attheirving.com. It's the theater where we hosted Shocktober in Irvington. They have a calendar of events coming up that just, all of them sound really cool. They have a midnight screening of Rocky Horror Picture Show. They have Repo the Genetic Opera. They have this really cool documentary about the female orgasm called Science, Sex, and the Ladies. And they're all really cool events, and they're very affordable, and it's such a great venue. So check that out at theirving.com, and also check out the work of the filmmakers who submitted short films to our event. J.P. Leck, he is a man of all trades. He has novels, radio plays, short film. There's talk of a needlepoint. All about his Elsewhere World universe, which you can explore at elsewhereworld.com. And then also check out Billy and Brendan Watch Movies. Billy and Brendan are a couple of guys we met at Shocktober, Billy and Brendan are a couple of guys we met at PopCon back in May. And they have a really cool web series that's, it features them watching movies and then basically letting the movies infiltrate their lives, much to the chagrin of their friends. You can check that out at billyandbrandon.com. And also check out the Irvington Historical Society. We raised some money for them, so we're donating all the proceeds to them. We're gonna do that Saturday, I think, and we're really excited about it. So thank you again, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Thanks. Bye. Hey guys.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to Shocktober in Irvington. We opened the doors here about half an hour ago, and we're gonna kind of let people filter in and stuff. I know people are gonna be coming a little late, but I'm Matt. Are any of you guys familiar with the podcast at all? Sweet. You are? Awesome. Yeah. Well, we're a weekly TV and movie podcast where we take a topic and discuss it and all that. We're hosting this event for the Irvington Historical Society, and for the filmmakers here, JP and Billy and Brandon. So, basically, welcome and thanks for coming. And Tiny, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Tiny. I am the co-host. Matt kind of rules this thing with an iron fist. He lets us speak occasionally.
Yeah.
We are one man short, but also one man extra. We're short our third co-host, Mike. He lives in Evansville, and apparently his career is more important than his hobby. So he had to teach a class, and he's driving. He's on his way, so he'll be here soon.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the table,
I am Greg Lenz. I am actually good friends with both Matt and Tiny.
Well, decent friends.
good friends.
I'd say tolerated acquaintance at best. But I actually met them through Tiny's brother and Matt's brother.
Yes.
And I've known them for a long time, and we had talked for many we'd had many beers at Rick's Boatyard.
Yes.
And I always was trying to push you guys to start something. And so actually, if you have listened to the podcast, I had the great honor of being the first host, and then was not asked to be back on for about a year. And then did a House of Cards special episode, which did you ever release that?
We did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
We did.
thanks for listening to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, I am honored to be back on for the third time, but I'm from another show called We Are Libertarians here in Indianapolis. And I'm just a big fan of Obsessive Viewer, except for the Netflix or the House of Cards episode, apparently. And I'm honored to be here. And thanks for everybody for coming out, because this is really important to me. I've always loved Irvington. Always been a huge fan of the Ghost Tour, and so glad we can try to raise some money for the community and give back.
Oh yeah, have any of you guys taken the Ghost Tour? Yeah, it's so great. If you guys haven't, for the rest of you guys, if you haven't, every Friday and Saturday, Al Hunter does the Ghost Tour, and it's fantastic. He takes you through the Irvington community, pointing out different haunted areas. We had a podcast about it. It's really impressive, just the amount of knowledge, the breadth of knowledge he has, and the amount of hauntings that Irvington has, which includes this place. This place is populated by a bunch of ghosts. There's Maria. Okay, that was kind of her cue, but whatever. She's a little girl who has an aversion to blood, apparently. There's a story of a rock band had a show, and they wanted to stay in the theater, like stay the night, and they played their concert, and one of their songs alluded to a murder of some kind, and of the one where someone dies. And and so
which is better to non-death murder.
Right. Oh
Right.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Preferable.
Right. So they basically, when they got to that point of their song where they mentioned the murder, I think it was all the power from the sound, but a certain amount of power just went out completely, and it freaked them out. They didn't end up staying. And there's pictures, if you check out the Obsessive Viewer Facebook event page for this, I posted some pictures of the ghosts that populated. And also, if you look behind you at the top, that's where the projection booth used to be. Right now it's populated by this, what is that?
It's a creature of some kind.
Yes, that is not supposed to, no, it's not a ghost, but
It's the Obsessive Viewer creature.
it is. Oh yeah.
That's what we're calling it now.
I thought that was me. But anyway, up there is where the projection booth used to be. And way back in the day, like when film was on nitrate, they had a projectionist, and the projectionist would stay up in the booth, and all the chemicals and everything would come up, and he would inhale it. And
Not intentionally.
He wasn't like a junkie.
He wasn't getting high.
Well, I don't know. He could have been. But anyway, so he would stay in the booth as the films ran, and he eventually died of respiratory problems, I believe. And so up there in the projectionist booth, you can see him sometimes, and he kind of wanders around in his where his lungs would be, because I guess ghosts don't have bodies, but where his lungs would be white from the chemicals of the nitrate. And there are also pictures on there too, on the Obsessive Viewer page.
And then the Indian is supposedly up across that wall, correct?
Oh yeah, that's right.
And they have pictures of him.
Yeah. Do you guys believe in ghosts? Yeah?
It's actually kind of close to, it's that column where you're sitting right behind you.
Right.
They have photos of, it's either an Indian or a hippie, which really it's probably a blurred line regardless, but he probably is what though, 7-8 feet tall?
Something like that.
Yeah,
Something
it's
like
very
that.
cool. It's very interesting to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then in this theater's history is pretty amazing, because behind us, if you look at the floor, and it's actually the subfloor at the moment, is the floor, the old parquet floor from Market Square Arena.
Yeah.
And you can go up. I guess the Ghost Tour, Alan brings them in here, and sometimes they let you touch it, and it's where Elvis Presley, the last floor he ever played on.
Yeah. That was about how long before his death was that?
I don't know. I wasn't alive yet.
You mean you weren't responsible, Greg?
I didn't kill him.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And also, just it used to be an adult cinema, I believe, at one point. Used to have porn play,
Nice.
which yeah, nice about covers it, Tiny. Yeah. But some
Hence the pews.
exactly. But we also have some filmmakers here. We're going to be showing the short films. We have J.P. Leck, who his short film is The Novelty. It's a part of his Elsewhere World universe of novels, films, radio plays. It's all expansive, and it's it's a really good short film, and I'm really excited to share it with everyone. And then we've got back there, we've got Billy and Brandon, who we met at Indie PopCon back in June, and their short film is Intruder, and they're from the Billy and Brandon Watch Movies web series. And does anyone know about this, Billy and Brandon?
Billy and Brandon?
Yeah. Billy and Brandon know about it, but it's a web series where they take their lives are influenced by movies, their love of movies. So each episode focuses on one particular movie, and they don't emulate it, but they let it influence their actions, and it's always with hilarious consequences, and much to the chagrin of their friends in the show. And it's really good. And it was their short film is a really great homage to like movies like Halloween. So I'm looking forward for both of those. And of course, we're going to be screening Night of the Living Dead. Are you guys excited about that? Yeah.
Tell me about that. What is this? Is this foreign?
It's public domain, which is the most important part about it. We tried to get the rights to Halloween. I was on the phone with the people that have the rights to Halloween for a month before they told me that they can't do it because they don't have the right to screen single events. So I think maybe next year I'll just say screw it and just show that one anyway.
Yeah.
As long as no one says anything to crank us international.
So how does that work? They cannot show it at a single event?
It's something like, I think they didn't think it was a legitimate thing because I kept saying the Obsessive Viewer podcast, which I thought was an international thing, but, you know. So they kind of kept saying like, oh, the guy that covers it isn't here. So I was like, listen, I've been calling for a month. And then they're like, let me put you on hold for 10 minutes. They didn't say that, but, you know, it was implied. I read between the lines. And then they were just like, yeah, we don't have the rights. Our rights don't include single night events. And I was like, okay. I've seen several of them pop up, but, you know. But I think those are for, like, chain stuff, yeah. So next year, Halloween. Screw it. Halloween marathon, all of them.
Awesome. Quit drinking, Matt.
Yeah. This one's kicked. All right. So we got some more people filtering in.
Slowly.
Yeah, slowly but
surely.
And then,
JP, you are also doing a signing tomorrow at Book Mama's, correct?
Yes.
And which book is that to promote?
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Cool.
Very nice.
For the podcast listeners, it's The Merely Mortal and The Undying
Strangely
Stranger.
Undying.
What is it?
Strangely Undying.
Strangely Undying. Sorry about that, man. And he's doing this won't go up by then, but he's doing a book signing at Book Mama's, which one of you lucky guys is going to get a gift card to Book Mama's, so you can use that when you go check out JP.
Yeah.
No excuse not to buy it.
Yeah.
No excuse.
Yeah, and I actually read JP's first book, The Merely Mortal. It's really good. I just love the whole concept of tying a universe all together with a book, movie, radio play. It's really just an original idea. And just, you can check out a review I wrote of it on a sister site that we contribute to called ObsessiveBookNerd.com.
Yes.
I had a lot of great things to say about it because it's really good. The characters are incredible. It's scary. And I'm not easily scared, so definitely check it out.
Nice. Yeah. And of course, we should get some plugs in. Should we get some plugs in?
That's your specialty.
Oh yeah, it is my specialty. It's what I
actually we can't get you to stop plugging things.
So anyway, ObsessiveViewer.com is a blog. Now it's a blog that I started back in February of last year. I was bored, and I think I watched the movie Flight with Denzel Washington. Yeah. And I basically watched that movie, and then I was really excited to tell Tiny about it, and then I told him about it, and then I was like, hey, I think I might start a blog, and then he was like, okay. So I started the blog, and then 6 months later, we started the podcast, and then eventually Mike came on, and then didn't show up to Shocktober in Irvington.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Uh-oh.
And then a car alarm went off. Yeah.
But really, we've been doing this for most of our lives, half our lives, because Matt and I met when we were in junior high.
Yes, I thought he was going to kill me because my brother almost killed his brother.
Yeah, it's a whole other story.
It's a whole other story.
We'll start another podcast. And,
yeah.
So
and now he's a cop.
He's a cop. Yeah, that's funny. But we've been friends since we were 12, I think, and this is what we used to do. Is we used to just hang out and we'd be like, "Hey, did you see the latest movie so and so?" And we would just have these conversations and had a blast doing it. And I feel like we kind of know what we're talking about.
I think we know what we're talking about pretty well, as long as you don't fact check us.
Everyone who's related to us says we're good at it.
Yeah.
So, and all our friends.
I remember in high school, like, our friends or my brother's friends would call and be like, "Hey, do you know how's Cloverfield? Is that pretty good? Have you seen it yet?" And I'd be like, "No, but I've heard it's really good. It's found footage. It's all that stuff." And then they'd be like, "Okay, cool, thanks." And I'd be like, "Okay, I don't want to see it," or whatever.
Yeah, right. That conversation was that short.
Yeah. Oh,
You'd keep him on the phone for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was more of a fan of his early stuff, but
well, Drew Goddard is his early stuff is Cloverfield. He went on to direct Cabin in the Woods, I believe.
Thanks for demonstrating that.
So we just decided to start recording it one day.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. Also, because of Greg, he pushed us into it.
Right, Greg did push us into it, and then I kind of ran. Like Tiny said, I run it with an iron fist.
Yes.
Sort of. And I kind of went a little crazy with it, and I edited it and everything. It's fun.
Yeah.
But also, then back in February, the 1-year anniversary of the blog, we started Obsessive Book Nerd, which is just a site for book reviews and commentary on the reading industry and all that. Reading industry, that's the correct term. Publishing and e-readers and stuff like that. So I just finished a complete write-up, a weekly write-up, a 21-week write-up of the Walking Dead comics, which we'll be raffling off later tonight, which I couldn't find book 4, so whoever wins that, you might need to fill it up. So you're going to get books 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. But it's okay. Book 4 just has some of the most important stuff in it, but whatever.
Just read the review.
Yes, exactly. That was my plan. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, Greg, you don't listen to the podcast that much, apparently.
Well, I don't like to listen to myself, first of all. That's really why.
Sure.
But you're only on, like, a few episodes.
Yeah.
Do you listen to the other episodes where you're not on?
Oh, yeah. I subscribe.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Which one's your favorite?
My favorite one was probably the one on the Summer of Sandler series.
That was a fun... If any of you have listened to the podcast, are you guys familiar with our Summer of Sandler series? Say that 4 times fast. Anyone? Nice. It was a 4-part dissection of Adam Sandler's career, which Adam Sandler isn't really the kind of guy that needs a 4-episode dissection. It was like 5 hours worth of recording time spent on Adam Sandler. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
We watched the movies too. We watched all of them. We cut no corners.
Oh yeah. I now pronounce you chucking homophobia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
How do you manage that with your Match.com and your Tinder profiles?
We're busy men.
Yeah. It's a caveat that I put on all my dates. Like, hey, I've got this thing going on, so you come 2nd, 3rd, 5th in my life, but yeah.
So Shocktober's something that's always been important to you, especially because you had talked about that for quite some time. This is obviously the first time we're pulling this off. And talk about that.
Well, it's been kind of, when I met Mike, who is absent, he'll be here soon. He and I were roommates at college, and he actually has a new band out called As Good As It Gets. So you can check out you can download a free EP, the Something Borrowed EP, or Something Old EP, I'm sorry, on Bandcamp. And he and I were roommates, and it was kind of, obviously, I'm pretty, what's the word I'm looking for, Tiny? Insane?
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah.
An insane dork.
Insane and, very, not self-conscious, but very socially anxious. Social anxiety.
Overly analytical.
overly analytical. Like, I'm going to go through this recording and analyze every single thing that I said. So anyway, I was very nervous about rooming with a complete stranger. So I naturally, when I found out his name, I Googled him and looked him up and everything instead of actually talking to him. So I found out that he had a band, and I listened to his music, and I thanked every entity in the universe that I actually liked the music, because I didn't want to room with a guy that I didn't like his music. But anyway, we both bonded over a love of film, and we kind of talked about our love of the Scream franchise. Are you guys a fan of the Scream franchise? Anyone? Yeah? It's a good slasher. Yeah.
There we go.
Boo, Nev Campbell.
Well, Nev Campbell notwithstanding, it's still a pretty good slasher franchise.
Yeah.
But we bonded over that, and then we kind of evolved that, and it would be basically, I referred to him as my Evansville Tiny, because we went to school in Evansville, and Tiny was, not there.
Yeah.
And so we became kind of besties, and then we would basically talk about movies and everything. And Shocktober was a big part of that, because he's a huge fan of Halloween. He's a huge fan of the horror genre. I'm a huge fan of horror, and it kind of evolved from there. And we called every October Shocktober. We would try to watch as many horror movies as we could, and then it evolved to this.
What was the most you ever did?
Oh.
The most movies you ever watched in one October?
In 1 October, which is 31 days, so it's not a 30-day one, so I had an extra day, so don't judge me too harshly for this, but I think it was like 62?
62 movies.
62 movies, which was a lot of fun, and as obsessive-compulsive as I am, I do track all of my movies that I watch every year. And it was, thank you. So it was definitely something I was proud of. Maybe not something that I put on the aforementioned Match.com profile, but it's something I was proud of, and that's more of a third date revelation. Like, hey, I track my movies, and I watch 62 movies in a month.
That's more for DesperateVirgins.com.
I was proud of you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Tiny.
Yes.
Thank you. And now, Tiny, what's your relationship to Shocktober?
I'm kind of a fan of Shocktober by proxy. Mm-hmm. Like, horror is fun. It's a really fun genre, and I get into it to an extent, but just nowhere as near as much as Matt and Mike.
Right.
And we did a Halloween franchise episode a couple of weeks ago, mm-hmm. and I think I probably talked for about 10 minutes total in an hour and a half episode. And it's just, I don't know, I love horror. It's great. It's just that it's just not my favorite genre, and
it's subjectively great.
Yes, it's subjectively great.
There's a lot of garbage. We actually just recorded an episode where it was horror movies that we want to see remade because they were awful. I offered up Urban Legend. Anyone seen that? Yeah, it's not that good. It's real. I have a review posting on Monday for it to plug the Obsessive Viewer.
Was that Sarah Michelle Gellar?
No, that was Alicia Witt.
Okay.
And Jared Leto's in it as a really phoned in journalism student. That when I went to USI and I met Mike,
yes,
I majored in journalism, and basically I majored in journalism, and I suddenly realized I don't really want to do this because it's very mundane and everything. And he was like, Jared Leto in the movie is the embodiment of why I didn't pursue journalism and why I'm just a podcaster now. And a security guard. So if you guys need security,
you'll be very safe tonight. We're both security guards.
Well, we're security guards with a podcast, Tiny. Let's not get too carried away here. But yeah, it's something that is with Shocktober. It's something that I've loved for a long time and everything like that. I completely lost my train of thought.
That never happens.
No, it never does. Yeah, cutting room floor of the podcast. But yeah, so we basically, it wasn't really a competition. Me and Mike, we just basically went for it, and we would watch as many horror movies as we could. Yeah, and Urban Legend is horrible. Just to reiterate that, it's if you've seen Scream, if you've seen Scream, Urban Legend is Scream at a university, but not being Scream 2, with a killer that's obsessed with urban legends instead of obsessed with horror movies.
Did you get all that? Did you guys get all that?
Good.
You know what's something that I find interesting is that horror is such a genre where there's so many cult classics, obviously, and it's kind of either a boom or bust. It seems like to me there's very little middle in that genre.
Oh yeah,
and it seems like lately that for whatever reason there's been a great decline in the number of one, cult classics, and two, even outstanding horror films or well reviewed horror films. And that's something I was kind of looking forward to tonight, to see two filmmakers who probably have a very interesting take and probably a different take than anything I've seen in the horror genre, because the last independent horror film I saw was with you guys. What was it? VHS. We saw VHS.
You fell asleep and your phone went off.
I did. And that,
just saying.
But we saw it was a late one, but I actually found it very interesting just purely because it was sort of a consolidation of short films.
Yeah, and the great thing about like movies like VHS and stuff is it's populated by filmmakers that they're not necessarily breaking out, but it's like a community of filmmakers, and it's like Ty West and a bunch of other ones I can't remember off the top of my head.
He's the best.
But he is. He did the short film, the short in VHS. That was the honeymoon one. That was, if you guys seen it, it's really impressive.
It's good.
He also did The Innkeepers, I think. I think that was him. But yes, thank you. The Innkeepers, which was awesome. It was kind of like it felt like an indie drama with a ghost. And it was pretty cool. I liked it a lot. But he is also in he appears in as an actor, You're Next, which is really interesting to me because I think You're Next was directed by some people that were involved with VHS. It's just it's really cool how they have that kind of communal kind of effort. Yeah.
You don't get that a lot anymore.
You really don't.
Yeah.
What
do you attribute to the kind of the decline?
I don't know. Changing industry, kind of not necessarily theater experiences aren't necessarily dying, but it's kind of, it's become, moviegoing has become more of a solitary thing with Netflix and even back at the advent of home video also was kind of the
disruption of the entire industry.
Pretty much.
And now you can pull a device out of your pocket and watch a movie anywhere you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can.
It's different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm watching Nightmare on Elm Street right now. Not really. I have a clock here.
Do you think any of it has to do? I know for me, I'm just rarely shocked by anything anymore. Nothing. Right. I mean, hardly anything scares me. I mean, I get obviously scared if I'm threatened with a mugging in Broad Ripple, but outside of something along those lines, it's very rare that anything even registers. And I wonder if a lot of it has to do with that.
Right, like maybe the audience is desensitized.
Yeah,
now.
I'm curious about that because I just can't remember the last. I mean, outside of Saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all subjective. Obviously, horror is probably the most subjective genre in all of film, and in all of fiction, in all of what I hope is fiction. But it's also the most rewarding when it's done right. And what this event is about is showcasing people that have done right by horror. J.P. Leck and Billy and Brandon. Yeah.
Nice plug.
Oh yeah. Elsewhereworld.com and BillyandBrandon.com. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Glad you memorized that, Matt.
Yeah, I meant to have notes, but we were setting up and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have some more people coming in. Yeah. So yeah.
So what would you say in the oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, Tiny, favorite horror movie on the spot. Go.
Favorite horror movie. Mike's not here, so I'm gonna say Halloween.
Nice.
'Cause that's Mike's favorite movie.
Nice.
And I never want to steal his thunder.
Right.
But I had never seen Halloween until last year.
Yeah.
Seriously, the original John Carpenter. Well, not the original. Yeah,
you had never seen the original Halloween until last year.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't even know what to say to you right
now.
now.
I still let him podcast with me.
Thank God it's not about, movies and TV.
Right.
But that kind of shows you just how horror really isn't my thing. But man, I really fell in love with that movie hard last year. I watched it 3 times. I went ahead and just bought the 35th anniversary Blu-ray.
Which we will be raffling off tonight.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
But it's Matt's, not mine.
Well, yeah. It also has an obsessive viewer sticker on it. So.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I really fell in love with that movie. It's just incredible. Just the tracking shots towards the beginning. Man, that blows me away. Just as a piece of filmmaking, it's incredible. Oh, yeah. So I'm glad Mike's not here. So
do you feel like that's kind of the horror movie that most people would have that experience? That's the one that leads them into the genre?
Most of a certain generation.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah. And Mike is fond of saying that horror is cyclical. Certain trends kind of jump to certain areas, or certain subgenres are popular at any given time. Like right now, we're transitioning from the torture porn movies to more psychological haunted house movies, kind of a throwback to like the 70s haunted house movies and stuff, like the stuff that James Wan's doing. And stuff like that. But then here in like 5 years, it'll be something different. Maybe slashers will make another thing, but make another comeback. But it comes from like Halloween kind of kicked off the slasher genre again, or I think, yeah, because it kind of went off of Psycho from the 60s. And from there, it kind of went from Halloween and then to Scream. It came back with Scream, and yeah, and my favorite horror movie would... First of all, Tiny, you wouldn't say The Thing is your favorite horror movie?
It's more of a... I guess it is technically a horror, but it's just... I don't know.
Kind of a creature feature.
Yeah, it is. But I don't know. Since Mike's not here, I'm gonna steal Halloween.
Nice. I would go with... I don't know. I really don't know. Probably Scream, as maybe silly as that sounds, because it's not a scary movie. I have memories of seeing it on home video and being kind of scared when someone knocked on the door in the middle of it. But that was also like me trying a little too hard as an 8th grader. Or as a 5th grader.
Yeah.
Because my parents were cool. But probably one of my favorite contemporary ones would probably be... Not even contemporary. You know what? I'm going to steal your one, Tiny, that probably you maybe feel like you should have said.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Alien. Yeah. Which is a movie I didn't see for until a couple of years ago. I'm basically bogarting all of Tiny's talk about Halloween. But I borrowed his Blu-ray, and we live in Speedway, and it was like a race day or something, and I was basically trapped in my apartment because of traffic. So I watched Alien and just fell in love with it. And actually, Keystone Art is playing it tonight at midnight and tomorrow night at midnight. And I think I'm gonna drag Tiny to it, right? Yeah. Tiny, you're gonna go.
I'll fall asleep in there.
He's gonna go, and if you guys are in the area, come check it out. It'll be fun.
See, I qualify Alien as more of a sci-fi movie.
It's sci-fi horror.
Definitely scary.
It's one of the most tonally perfect movies, I think,
it is.
In terms of terror.
Yeah.
So that qualifies as horror, I think. But yeah, it is more sci-fi.
And what year was that made? Would that be
1979?
70 something, yeah.
79, because Mike is fond of saying that it's Halloween in space. I'm like, the timing doesn't really come out that way, but yeah. So I like to say that that Halloween is alien in a house.
So what would you say, like, in the last 15 years? Because that's really where I feel like the drought's been. Is there anything that particularly sticks out?
Paranormal Activity.
Okay.
And I know that franchise has gotten such flack for all of its horrible sequels, but the original is it's a great piece of movie making in terms of tension building. It builds the tension toward the end, and in the end it just ramps up, and it's at its heart, it's a good story about a couple story, pretty much. And I think that's something that's very often overlooked.
Which is what you want in your horror.
Oh, absolutely.
You want a little love in there.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity is, man, I couldn't
More
sleep.
so than Blair Witch?
Yeah, Blair Witch is pretty much... Blair Witch was a product of its marketing, because it was brilliant marketing, but when it doesn't stick with you on repeat viewings, I don't think.
Plus, I think the movie's legacy is kind of that it sort of launched the found footage genre or subgenre of horror, and that is just so played out now. I mean, I still enjoy it myself, but I think a lot of horror audiences are they're just burnt out on found footage. Yeah,
especially found footage that isn't horror, because I think the found footage format is definitely a thing that is prime for horror. And when you have like a teen party movie like Project X, it's like I was tweeting throughout that entire movie because I was the only one in the theater, which is a good indicator of how it was. But
is that because they knew you were going to be in there?
I probably. It's like, oh, Matt's here. Yeah.
But anyways, Greg, your favorite horror movie?
You know what's funny? I mean, I would obviously say the one that got me into everything would be Halloween. The one that, though, it's funny, as a kid, and has always stuck with me, that really got me interested in it was Chucky.
Oh,
really?
Nice.
That was, I don't, for whatever reason, I was terrified of Chucky as a young kid. And I really had a long period of time where I didn't like horror films at all, especially Halloween I would watch, but I don't know why, but I would always get so upset. Like, you remember when he breaks his pumpkin? He gets tripped and he breaks his pumpkin and the kids laugh at him at the school. Like, the entire movie, all I could think about was I wanted Mike Myers to go around and stab those kids. And I know that's horrible and probably not a PC thing to say, but I was like, you can't, it's the kid's pumpkin. It's Halloween. I feel so sorry for this nice little kid.
I hate those empathetic moments where you feel like, oh, I feel so bad for this character. But have you seen Halloween 4?
No, huh?
Oh, there's
Is that with Busta Rhymes?
No, that's Halloween Resurrection. They should have paid me to have that in the box set. But in Halloween 4, there's Danielle Harris plays a character named Jamie, who's Jamie Lee Curtis's like daughter in the movie, and it's basically a way to expand the mythology without paying Jamie Lee Curtis to be in the movie.
Right.
But she is a kid, and she's going through, like, she has adoptive parents, I guess, or cousins or something like that, raising her. And she's going through class or going through school, like minding her own business, and then these kids come up and it's like, hey, is your mom coming home for Halloween? And then saying like, Jamie's an orphan. I'm like, that's horrible. I feel so horrible.
Bullying is real.
It is. Yes.
I know, and then you just, like, for me, I saw that, and maybe that's why, because I know when we talk, I keep waiting on that film where it's the horror film that's flipped upside down, where, like, the demon terrorizes the individual, and he just picks the wrong individual. You know, kind of like Gran Torino, he picks the wrong character.
Right.
But, you know, that was a big transformative thing, but the one that led me back, actually, to get back into it as I got older, was actually Event Horizon.
Oh,
Did you ever see that movie?
Nice
The
pick,
Shining
yeah.
in space.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I really did.
It's effective in a cheesy kind of sci-fi way.
It is. It was incredibly terrifying, though.
It was, yeah.
Just the whole issue about they're speaking Latin. I mean, and then, I mean, it was gory as all get out with obviously like this pressurized environment from space and.
Right.
Oh, but yeah, that was the one that led me back, and then I got into Scream a little.
Sure.
But I just feel like the classics were more terrifying because I feel like less is more.
Yeah. Oh,
Agreed.
yeah. And that's something that Halloween did very well. Even later in the franchise, it was all about less is more, less gore, less and more focused on the tension, and that's something that kind of got away from the horror genre, like with Saw and everything. It's just who can gross out each other the most, which is not bad. I mean, you know, there are people who are scared by gore and won't see gore and cry themselves to sleep as a security guard and a podcaster because of gory movies.
You're talking about Rob Zombie's Halloween, right?
Sure.
That was going to be actually one of the things I brought up. Like, that though I thought was a well done gore. I thought they did a great job with the storyline. They enhanced all the different areas and developed it even more.
Right.
And it was terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a pretty controversial opinion about that because
You do.
Yeah,
and we covered it on a podcast, but definitely check out the Halloween franchise episode. Tiny said that Rob Zombie's Halloween is better than John Carpenter's Halloween. No, you cut off his mic. Yeah, that's what he said.
I didn't.
That's exactly what he said.
That's not what I said. Jerk. No, I said that the original Halloween, John Carpenter's, is clearly the better film. Objectively, it is a better film, without a question. But Rob Zombie's has more of what I like in it. So I sort of prefer Rob Zombie's a little more. That's my opinion. Don't kill me after the show.
Right? Thank you, sir.
I'm going to break your pumpkin.
Please don't let that be a euphemism. Yeah. All right, well, it's about 7:10. We should get started on these short films. You guys want to see some short films?
Yeah.
Yeah? Awesome.
Shocktober.
Yes. So if you guys haven't already, we have water and little Rice Krispie treats back there while we get all set up if you want to go back there and grab one. And also make a donation to the Irvington Historical Society. And we're going to raffle off some stuff here in a bit, too. So let me get this set up and everything and slowly and very cleanly step away from the mic.
Yeah, and we're going to show
was
JP's The Novelty first, correct?
Yes.
By J.P. Leck. All right, here we go. All right, so what'd you guys think? Pretty awesome, right?
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Pretty cool. So JP is here tonight, and he was kind enough to offer to come up here and answer a few questions. So
Yeah.
please welcome JP up here.
All right. All right.
I gotta say, I just got here. I'm Mike, by the way. Thanks for the introduction, Tiny.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And I saw the last couple of minutes, and then I went to the bathroom and came out and saw. I see someone's head getting bashed in. That's pretty cool.
Saw the best part.
Pretty intense.
And so, I don't know. This is really cool. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
So I had a few questions because I'm kind of gonna run with this because I'm JP's biggest fan.
He is.
My first question is, how much did you pay Steven Spielberg to direct that?
That's very kind of you to say.
Yeah.
I actually have a photography background, so all my projects I approach very visually. I'm
Cool.
a big Steven Spielberg fan.
Nice. And speaking of photography, there is a photograph that makes an appearance in the movie. Did you want to tell us about that?
Yes. What she sees when she looks through the stereoscope is actually an image that my wife and I found years ago. It's a photograph taken by her late mother, which obviously we all saw it, but it's a cemetery. It's a crypt in a cemetery, and semi-transparent on the first landing of the staircase is a cloaked figure. And we don't know if it's double exposure that she made on purpose or if it was something very creepy, but either way, it was good for the film.
Very cool. Very cool. And now this ties into your whole Elsewhere World universe.
It does. I do a very obnoxious thing with every project. I make it only a piece of the overall story so that you have to read the books, you have to see the films, you have to listen to radio plays, check out my needlepoint, whatever else I'm going to do. It's all one big cohesive thing, and when you see it as a whole, then you really understand it.
Nice. And is the guy who played the monster, is he okay?
He is actually, when we were shooting that in my garage. I know it really takes away the mystique of filmmaking. We were shooting that in my garage. He bashed his head on the concrete. But he was a good sport about it. They were wrestling, and he's all right. He's alive. Good. He might be here. I'm not sure.
Awesome. And there's a very like an aesthetically perfect house where the character finds this book, and it is sort of a historic house called the Benton House. Did you want to tell us a little bit about that? Because it was kind of historic for this movie.
It is. I think we were the first film crew to be allowed to shoot there.
Oh, wow.
The manager of the house, a very nice lady by the name of Linda Hudson, she helped us out with that, and we got in there. We only had about 4 or 5 hours, which isn't a lot of time, but we were able to get in there and do it, and we were very appreciative for them letting us do that.
Very cool. Yeah, and man, when we watched this a couple of weeks ago for the first time, I was just like really blown away because, you see so many movies and they seem so disbalanced where it's like the camera's moving around the whole time or it never moves, but it seems like you kind of blended those things together. So who are your biggest influences as far as like filmmaking goes?
Probably Stanley Kubrick.
Nice.
Nice. He would take his time with a film. He would let you explore a space, whether that be like a starship or a hotel out in the mountains. He would let the camera just move very slowly, and you could see everything in the room. I love that.
Awesome.
Nowadays, you have very frenetic filmmaking where it's a different thing every 5 seconds. Which
Michael Bay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's the feeling I got was I was like, it's either P.T. Anderson or Stanley Kubrick, the nice wide shots, the camera just tracks perfectly with the characters. Very cool. You guys have any questions for JP?
What's your favorite Stanley Kubrick movie?
2001.
Thank you.
It's kind of a cliche answer, but it's
He had his fingers crossed. This hand over here, his fingers were crossed.
Oh yeah, I
He
love
better say
2001. Yeah.
didn't get any better than 2001.
Oh yeah.
Very good. Very good. What about you guys?
I got nothing. Go ahead.
JP, tell me a little bit about your background in case, for people that may not be familiar.
Well, I am a writer first and foremost. You guys mentioned earlier I have 2 novels that are out. I've done photography for quite a while, but filmmaking is relatively new. I've done some other projects, but the Novelty I consider my first true short film.
Cool. Cool.
How would you compare the two? Do you enjoy the filmmaking more, or do you like the creative process? And
They're very different animals. I'm very visual, which I'm a visual artist, but you don't really get that with writing a book. So the filmmaking and photography, that kind of thing, really gives me a chance to do all the visuals that I love.
Very cool. Nice. Cool. And the next part of your whole Elsewhere World phase is going to be some radio plays that are going to be out, correct?
Yes, we have one done called The Infernal Ears, which we have commitments from 2 radio stations to air this Halloween. If you check in with the website and the Facebook page, we will have the dates and times when they become available.
Very cool. So there's going to be more than one?
Yeah, actually, the guy I made it with, he and I sort of made a commitment to one another to try to do one every year because we both have a love for old radio. So we're going to try to do a Halloween radio play every year. Hopefully that'll happen.
Oh, that's amazing.
Very cool.
How? What's your writing process like?
Now that I have 2 small children, it's a little hectic. It's okay, nap time. Come on, Daddy's got to work.
Wow.
Wow.
Very cool.
How much of the Elsewhere World universe do you have? You said you're very visual, so how much, what is in store for the future?
What's the big picture?
And it is a big picture. The books will go on for the foreseeable future. I have 6 planned out at the moment. I'm sure 10 years later, once I've got all those 6 done, I'll have another 6.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do a short film every year. We'll see if that actually happens because they can get expensive. Like I said, the radio plays, we'll try to do one of those a year. And I actually have some aspirations for a comic book, but that's a little bit further down the road. We'll see if that happens.
Very cool.
Very cool. And just real quick, what's the website and your Facebook page, just so people can find it?
www. Is it 4 W's or 3 W's?
It's 3.
Elsewhereworld.com, and there's links to everything that I do. It's kind of just a big hub of the Elsewhere World universe. So if you want to check it out, go there.
Awesome.
Cool.
where can we buy this needlepoint?
Once I have it done, it'll be available right next door at the Antique.
Sweet.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Great.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thanks for bringing your film and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, fellas.
Cool.
Yep. All right. Now, since you guys didn't really get a chance to meet Mike so much, say hi to Mike.
Hi, Shadows. Is anybody out there dressed up? Because my wife costumed, and she's a little worried that she was the only one. I saw one hand. I saw one shadowed hand. A couple? Good. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Way to really make that important, Matt.
Hey, it's been a lot going on.
Yeah, and earlier before you got here, Mike, we discussed we each listed our favorite horror films.
Oh, no.
And I stole yours since you weren't here.
Oh.
That's your penalty.
Yeah. What'd you say? Halloween?
Striptease. Oh, Halloween. It was Halloween. Yeah.
Then I would say, and you probably said Scream.
I think so. I'm so drunk right now. Not really.
Drunk on Rice Krispies. There's
Yes.
a ton of them back there.
There's a ton of them back there.
Yeah.
Please help yourselves.
Then I guess I would just say, if you took my top 2 already, I would probably say Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
The Shining. Oh, yeah.
The Shining. No.
Okay.
So Friday the 13th, final chapter. You've talked about it in the podcast before. It's you say it's a quintessential slasher movie?
I do, yeah. When we did our quintessential viewings for Shocktober, I said, if a newbie were to come to me and ask where to start, and of course I'd ask them all kinds of questions first, but I would probably introduce them to Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Nice.
It's not the best. I'm not saying it's the best. I mean, Halloween is the best.
Right. Well, neither one of them are no sleepaway camps, so. Seriously,
Matt watched Sleepaway Camp for the first time last week.
No, I watched
how far
7
did you
minutes
go?
of it. 7 minutes, and I was like, all right, this is going to be dead air on the podcast when we get to it, because I'm not finishing this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
So don't say the end, because we brought it up on our kind of horror remake wish list, and that was
Yeah.
actually my pick was Sleepaway Camp. I think that could be effectively redone. And I was kind of like handcuffed or stifled because I couldn't really talk about the whole point of the movie because Matt hadn't seen the end of it yet.
Right. I plan on seeing it, but man, I don't. Ugh. That was just. It was so not. Yeah. It was just so not what I thought it was going to be. I didn't know it was like really campy, really sleepaway campy.
It's no Friday the 13th. Oh wait, it's exactly Friday the 13th,
which is essentially Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe it'll be remade. Maybe Hollywood will listen to our podcast.
Yes.
So we're gonna get queued up on. Or actually, we're gonna give away some prizes.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we might.
A date with Matt?
Anyone, please? We mentioned Match.com earlier.
All right. Chad's going to bring up the bucket, and we're going to draw some stuff.
Right.
How about
By the way, Matt mentioned The Shining a second ago about about what my favorite horror movie is, and the joke is that I don't like The Shining all that much. And I bring that up because if you listen to the podcast or after this, maybe you plan to give the podcast a try. The next episode we're going to record, Matt and I are going to actually debate the merits of The Shining.
Oh yes.
So I'm super excited about that. We've had some good debates. We did. Tiny and I did The Breakfast Club.
Right.
I'm not a fan. Matt and I did Star Wars. I am a fan.
Matt's not.
And now
Matt's
we're
not.
It's not that I'm not a fan of
He's
Star
the
Wars.
one. This is the one who doesn't
Somebody just
like
got
Star
up and
Wars.
left.
It's worth mentioning. It's very much worth mentioning that it's not that I'm not a fan of Star Wars because we're going to be doing Starbase Indy here. Thanksgiving weekend.
I mean, he loves Star Wars.
I love all the Star Wars. No, it's just I'm not as obsessed with it as the entire world is.
So yeah, stay tuned for the obsessive viewer debates The Shining.
Yes, it's gonna be. We're gonna get down and dirty with it. Someone might get fired. Yeah.
We're looking at you, Tiny.
Oh. So, what are we going to raffle off first?
We're gonna give away some Irvington gift cards. How many of you are familiar with like the Irvington area? Are you guys from around here? Do you guys like Irvington? It's
By the
really-
way, speaking of Irvington, we came in. I'm from Evansville, so we came in from Evansville, and I was kind of looking around at some of the buildings. I was like, oh, this is kind of a quaint little town. Actually, reminds me of downtown Haddonfield, which is kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you get to Audubon, and this place is crazy. Like, what the heck happened? This is a really nice part of town you guys live in.
It really
so
is.
Cool.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, yeah.
So Greg was instrumental in acquiring these gift cards. Broke his bank to get them.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And several of them were donated.
Yeah.
Yeah, the majority are donated. We have a few that I just thought, I'm a huge fan of Irvington. That was actually how we first stumbled upon this place was the ghost tour, and then we kind of fell in love with it and haven't left. But the first gift card is actually going to be from a local establishment that goes by the name of Indy Sykes Cycle Specialist.
Cool.
So it's the bike shop right down here on Washington Street.
Got any cyclists here?
It's really hard because we can't see anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a bike.
Hang on, let's do this properly. I'm going to hold it up in the air so you can't see the numbers. No favoritism here.
Right.
By the way, I love the McDonald's the McDonald's trick or treat bucket that your Happy Meal came in.
Hey, this thing is a family heirloom. All right, what do we got?
All right, get your tickets out, people.
You can't read them, can you? Because it's so dark.
Yeah, it's too dark.
Oh, that's true. It is. Yeah. 5294005. Woo!
Really?
All right.
So now you have to buy a bicycle.
Yeah.
How many do we have? Does it then go back in the McD's bucket?
I think it'll go back after we cycle through all of them.
Okay.
All right. The next gift card will be to Maximum Grow. And that's a gardening place right down here on Washington Street as well. Hydroponics and gardening. It's sort of a, I guess you could say the Whole Foods of
There we go.
Nice.
gardening stores.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, nice. So we're gonna pick that one out.
Do another one.
Yes. Yes. All right. 010.
010.
Yes.
Last 3 digits. Oh, we got a winner.
There you go.
All right.
Very nice. Are you a gardener? You're about
She's gonna
to
be.
You're about to be.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna have the best flowers ever.
Very cool.
Yes.
All right, do we want to do one more?
Yeah.
Just for
let's do-
giggles.
Our
Yeah.
next
Hang
one
on.
is actually to a place where Tiny has a magic candle from the Magic Candle.
I do.
He does.
It's wonderful.
And it's a store right down on Audubon, over or just past Bonner Street.
It masks the disgusting smell of my house.
From the Magic Castle.
Candle.
Magic Castle.
Every time I'm over there, I think of that. 015.
015.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
There we go.
So what is it like? Is it like a fancier
It has
Bed Bath
also,
& Beyond kind of deal?
I guess you could say that. It's got a little bit more of a pagan influence.
Yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff in that store.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of mystical stuff.
Sweet.
You
Very
can-
interesting.
Oh, nice.
Very
Okay.
interesting.
Okay.
yeah, you can get your palm reading.
Yeah.
So it's not just candles. It's not about the candles.
No, not just
no,
candles.
Cool.
it is actually haunted by a ghost named Charlie.
Nice.
All right. It's Candlemaker. Did you guys ever see Our Idiot Brother?
Yes.
Right? And at the end, did you see Our Idiot Brother?
Yeah.
And at the end of it, he and
Terrifying movie. Perfect for Shocktober.
he and
TJ Miller.
TJ Miller are candle makers at the end of the movie, and they're like going back and forth.
Right.
Dude, you don't even know how many candles I've been.
So, what are we doing next?
So next we're going to screen Billy and Brandon's movie,
Awesome. Which is
Intruder.
called It's called Intruder.
Intruder. Yes.
Intruder. Yes.
Yeah, I have not seen this, but Matt and Tiny raved about it on our little group chat we
Yes.
did both the other day, and they said I will like it.
He will like it a lot. As a
So I'm
huge
excited.
fan of Halloween, he's going to love it because it pays very awesome homage to Halloween. So,
Very cool. All right, bear with us.
all right. Yes.
Night of fun in Broad Ripple ended with a mugging at gunpoint for 3 bar goers.
Well, IMPD is working on a strategy now to improve safety in the Broad Ripple area.
4 more reported muggings in Broad Ripple so far this weekend. This is on the heels of another shooting that killed 2 and injured 5. IPD has no comment.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, I reported on a case similar to this, pretty similar to this, about a month ago. And in that, 3 victims, 3 suspects, again, held at gunpoint.
We do have officers, that have stepped up patrols in the area.
The bars along Broad Ripple Avenue are hopping. These streets are lined with bar hoppers' cars.
Broad Ripple's kind of like an attractive nuisance. You get a lot of people here at one time. And you also get people who are going to prey on the people that are coming back to their cars.
You've never listened to it, you totally should.
You guys were right. That was awesome.
All right. How about a round of applause for Intruder?
Yeah.
Sweet. And if the filmmakers would care to come up.
Billy and Brandon.
Yes. And Kurt, correct? Yes. Yeah, I mean, we can grab another chair.
Laps.
Oh,
You've
really?
all got laps.
You'll have to share the mic.
Lap
too.
sitting. The chair.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So how you guys doing tonight?
Great.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, you'll have to share the mic, unfortunately.
Yeah. If you could speak like on the mic. Too. Yeah.
Sure.
Or if you
Sweet.
want to pass it around or whatever.
Yeah.
You can take it out of there. There you go.
He said.
Nice.
Is it on? How's the volume on that?
How is it? You guys hear him?
Fine. Yeah.
You guys hear him?
Okay.
Sweet. All right.
I can't hear you, but luckily I'm sitting right next to you. So.
Oh, thank goodness. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Nice. All right. So many things.
The place to start, obviously,
Yes.
is they came to me and said that it's influenced by Halloween. That's taking a shot, right? I mean, if they're wrong, we look like idiots. Is that the case?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Very much Halloween and the Strangers was kind of what we were going for.
Yes. That would have been a good pick for one of my favorite horror movies, actually. Yeah. And it's worth mentioning.
Except your movie didn't get boring in the third act.
Correct. It's worth mentioning that she's watching Billy and Brandon watch movies.
Yes, definitely.
Which I laughed very loudly in my room when I was watching it because I was like, that's awesome. Because I don't know, because you guys gave us a DVD of your first season at PopCon, and I watched it, and it's really funny. It's really awesome. So she's watching that, and of course her time is about to end. So it's nice that she has a good, high quality thing to watch.
Good to go out on.
Yeah. So give us some background on Billy and Brandon Watch Movies and your experiences with filmmaking and all that.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Well, Brandon and I met in college, and we used to spout ideas back and forth. We worked together, movie theater, of course. But it wasn't until after college that we got together and we started writing, and then we'd had the idea for Billy and Brandon in college, and one day between writing scripts, we're like, let's just do a fun exercise. Let's pursue this Billy and Brandon Watch Movies idea. And we were like, I don't know, we had our idea of note-taking was just writing down movie titles.
Yeah.
That was just...
We had 3 pages of just movie titles. Like, this would be a good episode.
We could do that. Yeah, right. The Godfather. Sure.
Been there.
Yeah, and
Not like what we would do with that,
No,
like
just
how
the
the
title.
Godfather would be funny. Just the title written down on a piece of paper.
So we wrote Reservoir Dogs, and we're like, yeah, that's awesome. And then we didn't do anything for a long time. And then
I had given one of our features to Kurt, who was in film school at the time, and he just immediately wanted to direct it. And I was like, Kurt, that's a little ambitious. It's like a 2-hour movie. Why don't we start with something small? So I gave him the Reservoir Dogs episode, and just kind of went from there.
Nice.
It's good.
Nice. I love the way you guys established the tone in the beginning of Intruder, just with all the Broad Ripple stuff, which I was just very impressed when I first saw that, because it was just so well handled, like the interspersing of just like kind of blurred images with the news bites, which I assume were real news.
There was one that was me, but the rest of them were
Nice.
real. Yeah. That's something we had talked about. We had 6 ideas, like when you first asked us to make one, and it was really hard to kind of pick which one we wanted to do. And we kind of got it whittled down to 2 or 3. But I fought really hard for this topic because I felt like it was
relevant.
It was relevant, especially here in Indy. It's something. It was right after that shooting
right.
a couple months ago, and so it was just kind of perfect timing. I was like, I think that's really we can draw on that sort of realism.
Very real fears.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it fair for us to ask what some of your other ideas were, or do you guys want to kind of keep those in the can?
No, we could talk about ideas.
Yeah.
Mike, get your notepad done.
We had like a very seance gone wrong idea.
Yeah.
A possessed artifact idea. Glad we didn't pursue it.
Yeah.
This year.
It'd been a little redundant.
Like a demonic telephone.
Yeah, that was weird. Like this, like they move into a house and the only thing that's there is like this old phone, and then it starts getting calls.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, we have them all written down. But yeah, we had like 6,
We
and it
got
was kind
better
of hard.
at taking notes.
We have gotten better.
Sure.
That's one
Yeah,
thing we've
did it
learned
start
over the
out as
last
just
8
like
years.
the titles of your
Right.
ideas?
What was that about? Phone.
It's an audio version of The Ring.
Exactly. And this one actually has a ring, the ringing phone. Yeah.
And I just asked because I feel like you made the right choice, and something that we've talked about on the podcast is that we're all fans of anthologies.
Yeah.
And I think that the topic you chose really lends itself to short form. And it's pretty awesome. I mean, you take the best part of a movie like Strangers and just kind of add the suspense there.
Yeah, really, I was thinking the other day, and I was like, if we were trying to make this feature length, I'm not sure what we would add to it. Like, it's just all like the boring crap in the movie.
And don't you wonder sometimes that filmmakers who do make feature length sometimes have that same conversation? Like, where the hell do we go?
How do we get bodies into this? That's always fun. Like watching those campy 80s like slasher flicks when you're like, how are they going to get more? Oh, they called in the cousins. Oh, they were a surprise party that nobody knew about. Yeah, that's neat. Or
Tiny
the car broke down.
Tiny watched Friday the 13th Part 3 for the first time, and the bikers are clearly just bodies.
Yeah.
In that movie.
Wow.
Yeah, that's always the fun. Yeah, it's like almost a game.
It really is.
How are we gonna get more bodies?
Well, that was another good thing with ours. We just had the one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, we kind of allude to maybe there were others, and maybe there will be more, but it was just the one that we focused on. So.
Nice. How long was the shoot?
That first night we started at 9 and went till 1. So it was only 4 hours the first night. I wasn't there for the second one.
The second night was only 2 or 3. Well, we drank a lot afterwards. It's a rap party. Come on.
Sure.
And we were shooting at a bar too. So I mean.
Oh, awesome. Was any of it actually filmed in Broad Ripple? No.
No, none of it.
The
was
magic
filmed
of
in Broad
filmmaking.
Ripple.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
The bar scenes were outside of the Dorman.
Okay.
And then the rest of it was kind of on the north side.
Yeah.
At a house.
Cool.
I wanted to point out, this is my favorite thing about this was, because Kurt and I actually have the same car.
Uh-huh.
So when we were shooting the first night, we were using my car for all of the house and the garage. From the garage into the house was all, I was there. But, so when she's in Broad Ripple and getting in her car, it's actually Kurt's car.
Huh.
And it's magical because when I was watching, I was like, how is she going to go from being in Kurt's car to being in my car pulling into the garage? And he pulled it off.
Nice. Yeah. I love the POV shot in the back seat of the car. That was like, it came at like the perfect moment where like you get the exposition that they meet and all that. And that's fine. And that doesn't deprive from the tone established with the Broad Ripple news scenes at all. But what it does was when it switches to that POV shot, it's like, okay, some crazy stuff's about to happen. And it was really, the fluidity of it was really, really smooth. I like that a lot.
My two favorite parts are at that point. If you watch in the background while they're walking to the cars, while the two girls are walking to the cars, you can see me cross and get into her back seat.
It's totally there.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
Not even
you have to be watching for it, but it's there.
Nice.
And the keys. We did the classic horror movie. They're in the nobody keeps them in the visor.
No one does
Who really
that.
keeps their keys in the visor?
I love it.
Every horror movie when they're searching for keys, they're always up there.
Yeah.
It was like an on the set idea. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's something that always, it's such a trope that it doesn't bug me anymore. It's just like, I'm like, all right, that's funny. Cause it's not so much that no one keeps their keys up there. It's that people actually think to check up there. It's like, yeah.
I wonder if at this point it's almost like a joke. Like every time you hear the Wilhelm scream, they knew that everybody's going to hear that. So it's got to be a wink at this point.
Oh yeah. It's definitely a fun visual joke. So Kurt, tell us about your background with filmmaking and all that and everything.
So actually I didn't go to film school, I went to school for photography. I'm actually also a photographer.
Nice.
So, but I went into stop motion filmmaking and kind of just took off from there. My last 2 years I just didn't even touch a film camera. I was
Really?
All video, and somehow my professors put up with that. So, but yeah, I met Brandon while I was working at the movie theater as a projectionist, and that's when we started doing Billy and Brandon watch movies. I don't like being in front of the camera or doing much acting or talking, so I just like the directing, editing, all that kind of stuff. So.
Nice.
Which we did stick him in front of a camera for Billy and Brandon.
We tried to
he
make
came
sure
up with the most ridiculous character ever.
So he did it to himself.
Nice. Tell us about the future of Billy and Brandon and what's in store for it.
Well, we are in the middle of season 2. It's been a long hiatus at this point, much longer. Summer just got crazy for everybody.
Yeah, we did a couple of conventions. We met you at PopCon. We also did Indiana Comic Con.
Nice.
This guy got married. I mean, it's been a long, crazy summer.
I know how that goes.
Okay. What?
I'm single, bro.
But yeah, we were like halfway through shooting an episode when all that kind of started happening.
Oh wow.
So we're we're almost finished with that episode now. Should come out in the next couple
Spoiler
of
alert,
weeks.
it's Skyfall.
It is.
Nice.
Skyfall. And then
That's awesome.
we're also doing Starbase Indie, which you'll
Right?
be at.
Oh, yeah?
We actually have a couple panels going on. Billy and I are going to be talking about comedy writing for the YouTube generation.
Nice.
And then we're going to be premiering the following episode, Die Hard.
Oh.
So
That's awesome.
So it should be a couple of good panels. And then on Friday night, they're actually marathoning our whole first season.
Is that what they're doing? Because I saw on the schedule, like, I looked at the schedule and I was like, there's a lot of stuff going on. And it's like, Billy Brandon's all over the place. I'm like, I want to see all of it.
Yeah,
But
they blocked out like 2.5 hours for us on Friday night.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So you can catch up with the whole series and then watch the Die Hard premiere the next day.
Very cool. Very cool. I might be stepping away from the table quite a bit.
Well, it's 11 p.m. I mean.
Well, yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, any other questions for?
Well, I feel like we left it, but I'd like to go back, if you guys don't mind, to the short.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. This is something we've been talking about a lot lately on the podcast. I feel like I sound like a broken record. Is endings of movies, and I'm very particular about my endings. Yeah, I am super particular, and I kind of like to have. I struggle with ambiguity sometimes, and I don't think your ending is that ambiguous, right? But there is something to be said for leaving violence off the screen, leaving it to your imagination, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you have a clear idea what happens to the character? And I'm sorry, I talk a lot. The reason I ask is because I think of like the ultimate ambiguous ending at the end of Inception when people flipped out about that. And my point is Chris Nolan doesn't know what happens to the damn top, right? It doesn't matter.
Right.
So my point is, did you guys envision anything at the end, or was it very clear that you were going to stop where you stopped?
We had always planned on stopping there. We wanted to do like a Drag Me to Hell kind of ending where just like the logo came back up and that was the end. Like, it was done. And I think we always, like, we wanted it to end right there with them in the closet, which was a little bit of a Halloween nod, but I mean, I don't think there's any way she's getting away. I mean, he's got the high ground.
Yeah,
like,
nobody's coming to save her. The only person she texted was him.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's pretty obvious what happened there.
They fall in love and get married and have
exactly.
kids.
Have little.
He says, "Will you make me a bagel too?"
That bagel looks delicious.
By the way,
spread the
the cutting of the bagel reminded me of the intro to Dexter. Is that on purpose or?
Never watched Dexter.
Oh, really?
Kurt?
It was really good for 4 seasons and then went 4 seasons too long.
Oh, so it's a TV show.
Yeah.
We, with Billy and Brandon, we've started playing around with some more like Edgar Wright kind of cutting at times.
Yeah.
So I think it was more of that.
Gotcha.
I thought it was very Evil Dead, Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
edited.
Yeah, it's
That
all
too.
that. And I'm sure Dexter is doing that kind of thing too.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Well, and where can we find you online?
BillyandBrandon.com.
Nice.
Egotistical website.
Yeah. I think we have some stickers up there somewhere.
Oh, awesome.
That have our website on there.
Sweet.
And our faces.
And our faces.
Yes.
You can't
there you
forget
go.
these mugs.
Can we ask what your guys' favorite scary movies are?
Yeah, I can tell you right now, it's been Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead since I was 12.
Nice.
So 17 years. I've never faltered.
Wow.
Never flinched.
I always say The Exorcist is my favorite scary movie.
Oh,
It
nice.
was actually probably the only movie that's like really scared me.
Yeah.
I first watched it when they released the uncut version. They had it on A&E without commercials and with all of the gore and everything in there. And like it was still that like hard R, and I probably wasn't ready for it. But it was good. It was a great experience, and
That's awesome.
so it's kind of hard to beat that.
They're actually showing it at Keystone Art next weekend.
Yeah.
Midnight screening.
I like your
might try to
answers
go
because
to that
they speak to time and place, right?
Yeah.
That like no matter what happens, you won't be able to. That's why I said Friday the 13th Part 4. It's not a good movie. But
one. Right. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. When I first saw The Exorcist, it was weird. I think my brother was about to go on a trip somewhere, and and this is back when I was in high school and we shared a room, and like he was sleeping, and it was like a Friday night or something, and I just sat there in front of my screen on like a computer or something, just watching it with headphones on, and in that way, it's a very immersive kind of movie.
Yeah.
And then like I stopped it when it was over, and like around that time is the time that he had to wake up to go for his trip and stuff, and it was like sun was breaking through the windows, and I was like, I just felt so weird.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't necessarily scared or terrified. I just felt really uneasy and very strange.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I highly recommend reading the book if
Oh,
anybody
yeah?
has. It goes really into like psychology. There's a lot of like young talk, and it's so if you like psychology or if you like The Exorcist or both,
Nice.
I recommend it. It's really good. But yeah, I always say my top 3 favorites are The Exorcist, Alien, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and they're all
Nice.
completely different. They all have different merits, but
Very cool.
By the way,
kind of
last Shocktober we interviewed John Dugan, who plays Grandpa
Oh,
from
nice, yeah.
Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that I really liked about the latest Texas Chainsaw movie was
3D.
Yeah, Texas
Yeah.
Chainsaw 3D.
Yeah.
Was that first scene? They got like a bunch of the old actors
Yeah.
back from the
Yes.
first movie.
It's the best
They're
part.
playing different parts,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was just cool to see them all out there.
Yeah,
and
it was
stuff.
Yeah.
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 Including the late Marilyn Burns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's another thing. If you pay attention to the movie, the name of our characters, the 3 names are people that had died right around then.
Oh,
So
wow.
the guy was
wow.
Robin for Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Huh.
The woman was Marilyn for Marilyn Burns.
Mm-hmm.
And who's the other one? Lauren for Lauren Bacall.
Oh wow.
Wow. Very cool.
Very deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Writers.
Nice. Nice. And finally, what do you think of Exorcist II: The Heretic? Is that what it is? Yeah.
Finally, I like that. That's
It's
finally.
And
And finally,
at me.
to
This whole
sum
time.
up,
To sum
guys.
up.
The best part about that is that they got Max von Sydow back to do the flashback.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about
Yeah.
The Exorcist.
There you go. Yeah. Exorcist 3 was pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay. But yeah. Awesome. Well, I think, give us a round of applause for Billy and Brandon and
Nice.
Kurt.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. So we have some more goodies to raffle off.
Yes.
Oh man,
This is fun
Good
stuff right
goodies.
here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Wow.
Just show of hands. Has anybody watched The Walking Dead? I mean, it's
Only a
like
few people really.
Does
want.
anybody read The Walking Dead comics?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. They are far superior, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Some cool stuff. Are you current? Those of you who raise their hands. Cool stuff in the last issue. I'm excited. I'm excited. What's that?
I haven't read past All Out War.
Oh, it gets better.
Really?
I didn't like All Out War.
I didn't like the resolution. I thought it was a little hollow, like
Yeah.
with Negan.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
like, really?
But,
Would they really do that?
No idea what you're talking about.
They're doing some cool things now.
Nice, nice. So yeah, who wants to get some stuff?
What's up, Mike?
DVDs,
What's up, Mike?
books.
Draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can draw.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. We should figure out an order for these.
Let's just go.
Yeah, well, I want to.
Am I holding it for myself?
No, I'll hold it. Hang on.
All right.
I'll hold it. All right.
What do you call
All right,
that,
what do
Tiny?
we-
Your little guy?
What's that? So our first thing is what,
It is
Matthew?
a Blu-ray copy of The Boondock Saints.
Terrifying.
Very nice.
Terrifying movie.
The scariest movie.
It is. Well, the
Here.
reasoning behind this is that I saw it at Best Buy. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this because I know that a lot of the actors do conventions, and I wanted to get like Norman Reedus and
Norman Reedus, I'm not familiar.
But I knew that wow, the guy David
Sean Patrick Flannery?
No, David Della Rocca.
Oh, David Della Rocca.
Yeah,
Rocco.
he was going to be at Horror Hound, I think, in like Cincinnati, but I wasn't able to get that, and I still had it. So this isn't signed from anyone from the movie.
That's why it's first.
Yeah, that's why it's first.
So, Blu-ray copy of the Boondock Saints.
Yes.
And one of our stickers that you can't put anywhere else. You got to keep it on the Blu-ray.
Right.
5294029.
029.
029. All right.
All right, we have a winner.
Sweet.
All right.
You've seen the movie, haven't you, sir? Oh, it's awesome, isn't it? Ah, very cool.
Sweet.
Awesome. Cool.
All right. Our next
And-
item.
Matt, what's up next?
Oh, the
Wait,
next
I think
item is which one should we do first?
Lost Boys.
Lost Boys. It is a 3-movie collection, DVD collection of the Lost Boys. It's got Lost Boys, The Tribe, and Lost Boys The Thirst. I've seen the Lost Boys once, I think. And I liked it, but I haven't seen the sequels.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's a lot of fun. Cool. So that one is on the market?
And that one goes to 5294013.
Awesome.
Nice.
Wait a second.
All right.
Corey Feldman, and the number was 13.
Oh.
And my pick was the final chapter. Come on.
Wow.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
And this Halloween is on a Friday the 13th. Isn't it?
What is, no,
Or no,
it's on
wait.
the 31st.
No, but it's on.
It's on a Friday.
It's on a Friday, but it's, what was it?
It's like the...
My wife said this. Somebody said to me the same thing.
No, it's like, it's the first time in like 666 years.
See, that's bogus.
Isn't it?
Because
the
it's
day
not a Friday
that Doc
the 13th.
Brown invents time travel.
November 5th, 1955.
Yeah.
I am a blonde, you guys.
But you're not. What's crazy is that must be going around the internet.
There's something, yeah.
It's something like that. Something's going on.
Like Ebola.
Yes, like Ebola. By the way, that jar, that's what was in it.
Our next item?
Our next item, this is awesome because it is the Halloween 35th anniversary Blu-ray that came out last year, and it's so awesome. Like,
great.
It's got like a new transfer of the movie that was
done by cinematographer Dean Cundy.
Yeah, he oversaw it, and it's the best that the movie has ever looked.
Yeah.
And it's got a new commentary track featuring John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
And it's also got a really cool. How long is it? It's almost feature length. It's
The Night She Came Home?
Yeah, The Night She Came Home. It's an hour-long documentary that shows Jamie Lee Curtis as she's here in Indianapolis at Horror Hound Weekend 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And it's like her first, I think it's her first convention. And it's just
first
really
and
cool.
last, yeah.
First and last. It's really cool seeing, she's not dead. It's because she just did the one-off convention. But it was
You
really
will fall
cool.
in love with her all over again.
Oh my
And she's
God.
also adorable on the commentary.
She really is.
Like
She's
scared of the movie.
Exactly. She's scared of the whole movie, and it's a lot of fun.
It's cute.
And it's very cute to see her at the
You mentioned that it's the best way to watch the movie. Now I'll say it's one of two best ways. I think
Here
the
we
other
go.
best way, oh stop it,
I love you, Mike.
is to watch an old VHS copy on a really small TV. Because that's how I saw it the first
yeah.
time, and I think that's the best way to experience it.
Watch it.
Like if it was on NBC,
yeah.
right, in 1980.
It's like the Instagram version of watching it.
Yeah. The filter. So that's really cool. Yeah. The Blu-ray came out last year.
Yeah.
And it goes to
Yes.
5294021.
021. First, awesome.
Right.
Very nice.
Lucky guy.
What if he doesn't like Halloween?
Yeah. Do you like Halloween? Sweet.
Nice.
Right. Do you already have this? Oh,
nice.
cool.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yep.
It doesn't fit perfectly in your Blu-ray library. It sticks out a little bit.
The case is weird, yeah.
But
Yeah. But the booklet's really cool that comes with it.
Yep.
So next up is a 5-book set, which I suddenly realized someone's going to have to carry around as they're leaving.
the whole set?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah. With the caveat that I don't know where book 4 was, so this is 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So yeah.
All right.
Whatever. Bogus.
Book 4 is like $20 on Amazon.
Yeah.
9. 5294009.
Right.
Awesome.
Cool. He reads, right? You rose your hand.
Sweet.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Perfect. It's all yours.
Yeah.
Hang on to your ticket.
Yeah, because we might do
Yeah,
more.
Find a way to.
How current does that go? How far does that go?
That is up to, I think, Alexandria.
Sweet.
I think.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Sorry about 4.
But you got some cool stickers in it too.
Yeah. Next.
All right. Next, these are the big ticket ones.
Yeah.
First up is, I needed to make sure that we had a sticker on it. A DVD copy of Sharknado, which I haven't watched yet, but I had it signed by Tara Reid at what was it? That was Days of the Dead.
Days of the Dead, yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of a funny anecdote that it wasn't really. She had a long line, and like it was just very like, go sign it and all that. So I didn't get to really chat with her and get her on the podcast, but next time. Signed by Tara Reid, Sharknado. Haven't seen it yet. Have you guys watched it?
No.
No. It's not really my thing, but
Yeah, I
have
wish-
friends who say it's good.
Yeah, they had screenings.
What's
up
that?
Here. Exactly. It's the room effect. But I was going to say something about that. Well, I'll raffle it off and I'll talk about it in a minute.
Tara Reid autograph featuring Sharknado. 5294008. 8.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Yes.
How excited are you?
Tara Reid fan?
Sure.
Yeah. She was in movies. Yeah.
She said maybe before
Even
all
then,
surgery.
fan is a stretch.
Oh yeah.
Do you know who she is?
She was in Big Lebowski.
This is pretty sweet, Matt.
Yes. This is is it Steel Case? Is that what it's called? Steel whatever?
Yeah. Steel book.
Steel book copy, Target exclusive. Because all the retailers do the,
Exclusive stuff.
ones.
Yeah.
But it's from Target. It's the complete third season of The Walking Dead, which, if you guys don't know, it's this little scene show on AMC.
A few people watch it.
Yeah, yeah. And I had what was the
More than a few.
More than a few.
Because for the first time, for the first time, I don't even know, since the 90s, a show beat Sunday Night Football
In the
on
ratings.
a Sunday night in viewership, and Walking Dead premiere did it.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was a good premiere, too.
And who's the
It was a
autograph?
bad football game.
Oh, yeah. And the autograph is Scott Wilson, who played Herschel. Plays Herschel in the show.
Spoiler alert.
Super nice guy. We
got it signed at Horror Hound convention. When was that? That was September last month.
September, yeah.
Yeah, and I on the Facebook page and on my Facebook profile picture, it's me and him, and because you pay for the signature and a picture, and like his assistant was taking a picture. But I had to pretty much accidentally force her to take 3 different pictures because I was wearing this shirt with Obsessive Viewer, and I had first the Blu-ray kind of up here concealing the logo. Then she took the picture and I lowered it.
But not that low.
To make sure, not that low.
Careful.
And then I kind of finally took 3 pictures, and I was like, I just want my logo on there, man.
You are a shameless plugger.
Oh yeah, obsessiveviewer.com, people.
So let's raffle this thing.
So Scott Wilson, also in Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon, which is one of my favorite.
If you have not seen that movie, go see it.
It's so awesome.
Very good.
5294024.
024.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Hey.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Aren't you that guy with the dog?
Yes, this is Matt's brother, Ray.
Raymond Hurt, famous dog, just fresh from New York City.
You can keep your ticket.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can keep your ticket. Well,
Keep
actually,
your
we're not. That's it. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a souvenir.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ray has a famous dog you may have heard about. He's here tonight.
Yeah,
Turbo.
His name is Turbo Roo.
Turbo Roo. Anyone
He was
heard of
a little
Turbo
Chihuahua who was born without his front legs, and they adopted him, and they've helped him, adapt to that. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
He's like Lieutenant Dan, but a Chihuahua, right?
Yeah,
pretty much.
minus the alcoholism.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Well,
So far,
let's see. Well, he's getting famous, so.
give it time.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Our last thing to give away before we start.
Oh, that's ominous.
Yeah.
Is
what's in the bag?
Heads.
It's,
It better be spooky. Oh, it's from Michaels.
Michaels and Target.
It's only
Talk about horror.
Too spooky is, there's so many white girls!
And you can say that because your last name's White.
right.
They're my family members.
So
we actually have the other 2 seasons up at the front.
Yeah.
But if everyone that
everyone who dressed up tonight has to come
Oh.
up here,
yes,
You're in costume.
and we're gonna judge
Come
you.
on up.
We're gonna judge you so hard.
Didn't your wife dress up?
She did. What are you doing? Are you coming?
Amanda.
Come on, Amanda. I'd love to take these home.
Everybody, please give a round of applause to Chad, our assistant.
Yes.
Yes.
You have been killing it, buddy.
Could not do it without Chad tonight.
Absolutely. Great job, buddy.
Okay.
Is there someone else who's refusing to come up? Your daughter, she's
come on.
She might not be a Tales from the Crypt fan. Yet. Holy cow, that's adorable. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Who are you dressed as?
Very nerdy Snake Plissken.
Very nice. I don't know. What's that from? I don't know.
Escape from New York.
I'm just kidding. Everybody knows what that's from. Kurt Russell. Okay, and sir, who are you dressed as?
I'm Agent Leo Fitz from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, very cool.
Oh,
very cool.
nice.
What's your name?
Ben.
Ben, okay. Alrighty. Up next, who are you dressed as?
I dress as Agent Gemma Simmons from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Did you guys come together? Okay. Okay, and what was your name?
No, we were separate. Casey.
Casey, okay. And sir, who are you dressed as?
We're a team as well. We're Hank and Dean Venture from the Venture Brothers.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice.
Nice.
Cool. And what's your name and who are you dressed as?
My name is Amanda, Mike's wife. I am a skeleton.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Okay.
I think she looks like Bagul from Sinister.
He loves you, though.
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Mike loves you.
So I think if you guys can all step in front of the table, do you guys want to do like a round of applause?
Into
thing?
the light. Sure.
I think we should judge them.
I think you with the ironclad fist should select your favorite.
Yes, our dear leader, Matt.
And then have you ever send them away one at a time? You lose. You lose.
Have you ever seen Sophie's Choice? This is Matt's choice.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, Amanda, keep your hands right where they are.
So, Matt, you get to choose.
Oh, well, I'm
Just
looking at
eliminate
that.
one by one.
I'm not going to do that.
Social terrorism.
All right, first elimination, Greg.
All right.
Can we get what if we did a vote? And I know there's 4 of us. I was
going to say a round of applause from the audience, but
Round of applause from the audience?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Would you guys be up for that?
That's better.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes it less embarrassing for Matt.
less on the spot.
Amanda, are you scaring kids again?
That's got to be the winner.
She's really nice. She's really nice.
All
Okay.
right. So should we just go one by one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Round of
All right.
applause, people.
And you can only clap for one person, yeah?
Oh, really?
Is
Yeah,
that-
I guess that's
is that
true.
how it works?
Or just like right?
Golf clap.
Give them a little something.
Golf clap.
for everybody.
In the amount of enthusiasm you have for the okay, Amanda here with the skeleton. How does everyone feel about that?
That's not very loud, Mike.
Mike didn't clap very loud.
Ow!
There you go.
Billy and Brandon with the already forgot
Venture Brothers?
Venture Brothers.
Bros.
Yeah. How do you guys feel? Woo! Good. Good. You guys with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ones? Woo! And how about Snake Plissken? Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. What do you guys think? Should we also include the little girl? Woo!
I think Matt won.
I think. Well, as podcast host. Okay. Good answer.
What is the adorable girl's name? I'm sorry?
Calliope.
Calliope, you won.
Nice.
You win.
Come get your prize.
Yay.
Aw.
You're gonna love.
Kind of
Maybe wait a year or two to watch them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here you go.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
All right.
All right.
All right. To the rest of our costumers who didn't win, though.
Yes. Round of applause.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks for dressing up, guys.
Yes.
We much appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, does that sort of segue us into a little intermission before we kick off the?
I think so.
The
Yeah.
movie?
I think we're gonna take a short break, and then we'll come back for Night of the Living Dead.
5-10 minute break just to use the restroom. There's plenty of Rice Krispie treats and bottled water back there if you'd like, and then we will kick this thing off for the main event.
Yeah.
All right.
That was it.
Damn it. We're not alcoholics, I swear.
And now we're back in the studio, guys. What did you guys think of Shocktober in Irvington?
It was awesome.
Awesome. So awesome. Finally, something like this has been something that's been in the works for a long time, and it was. How'd you guys feel going into it?
I was shaking in my little space boots.
You mean like beforehand?
Yeah, like
before
in
the thing. Well, I was just making sure I got there on time.
Right. Yeah.
That was my thing.
Yeah. Do you want to explain it for the listeners, or should we leave that shrouded in mystery?
No, I can't explain it. I'm not embarrassed. I just kind of was mixed up about the time. I didn't really confirm what time it was, so I had to work, and I work, 3.5 hours away from where Shocktober was. So I figured we'd start at 7, and then I'd get there at about 7:15. But I was actually about an hour late because we started at 6. But that's okay. I think we did all right.
We did.
Anyway,
and,
we missed you.
We did.
Oh well,
we missed you.
Thanks, guys.
Greg filled your shoes, though.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Greg.
Yes, and thank you to everyone that helped out with this because it was a big effort. Like everyone, like the Irving Theater, Greg, our friend Chad from Secular Perspective, just everyone that supported us and everything too. Because this was something that was like we announced it at PopCon, and I was just like, "Oh God, now this is a thing. Now this is real.
Now we have to do this."
Yeah. And I was just really nervous about it, and then, like, that's how I felt going into it. Like, it was a weird week for me because I still had stuff I needed to do. Like Monday after work, I went straight to Irvington and just put flyers up all over the place, like more flyers.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Thursday, it kind of hit me. Like I was like, this thing's tomorrow. Oh my God, this thing is tomorrow. This is happening tomorrow. And yeah, I felt really good after it and during it. It was a lot easier to do once it got rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not that much easier on Chad though, because poor guy had to run back and forth.
Yeah, Chad was a champ.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of help.
Oh yeah, like I've started making notes for next year because I fully intend on us doing this next year too.
Mm-hmm.
And so that'll be fun. That'll be fun and stressful because, like I said, I was like just freaked out the day of. I was like, what if people don't show up? What if it's us and us on a stage and the people who gave their films to us?
Yeah, and Amanda.
And Chad.
Yeah, and Chad.
But yeah, and I mean I'm so happy that we got to do it, and we got to do it well with limited casualties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it only just makes me more excited for next year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I keep toying with the idea of putting a clip at the end of this episode from The Strangers, where the last line of The Strangers, where the girl's like, "It'll be easier next time," or whatever she says. But I'm probably not gonna do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, Mike, what did you think of Night of the Living Dead, by the way?
It was really good. I was a little nervous at the beginning because it drags, and it drags throughout the whole movie. Really,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's a slow movie, and it's definitely a movie of its time. And it doesn't have the tension or the pacing that Halloween does. Halloween's the benchmark, I guess. But it was fun. It was fun to watch. It was like a movie I felt like I should watch, and I'm glad I did. When the action finally ratcheted up, it got pretty impressive for being the first of its kind, and I appreciated it for what it was. I'm glad I saw it. It's by no means one of my favorite horror movies.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I haven't really given a whole lot of thought to it, which I guess kind of speaks a little bit to that.
Did Amanda have an opinion? I'm curious.
She kind of felt the same.
Okay.
She thought it was cool. She thought it was cool that she finally got to see it, but she also felt that it got slow at times. I really did not like the female lead.
Oh yeah,
the girl. She is far too helpless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Annoyingly helpless.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was curious because I sat behind you guys for a lot of it, and Amanda was like infectiously yawning. She would
that's
yawn.
Because there was a movie on.
That's right.
Yeah.
She's got a disorder where she can't watch movies.
Yeah.
But she kept yawning, and then I would yawn, and then she'd yawn again, and then I would yawn. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She thought it was all right.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, Mike, you weren't here for this, but when we first started the live podcast portion of it, I asked if anyone there had listened to the podcast, and then as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said that because no one probably listens to it. There was like one guy and then one person in the middle that said, oh, yeah, I have, and I was like, oh my God, my words go places. Our words go places.
We're here too.
Yeah. But yeah, it was so much fun. I was so exhausted after it. Because I was at the theater at 3 to set up and everything. And I was really, this is such a, I guess, nerdy kind of piece of pride or whatever, but we actually use our audio equipment, our board and everything. We use the theaters microphones and stuff. But yeah, so I was like, it was cool that we got to use our equipment.
Yeah. So then what's going on at the theater here in the near future, the Irving Theater?
Well, if I can get this posted tomorrow, then tonight they're actually screening Young Frankenstein.
Awesome.
Which is really awesome. It's $5, and it's only $5 to get in. It starts at 8. It's part of the 68th annual Irvington Halloween Festival that's going on right now, as are pretty much everything else on this list. But they have then Thursday, October 23rd at 7 p.m. they have a free Spooky Stories event featuring a storyteller and the winners of the Irvington Halloween Festival writing contest. So that's cool. It starts at 7, if I said that already. Then also every Thursday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. they have poetry open mic, which we actually when we were getting Shocktober in order, me, Tiny, and Greg met up there and kind of sat in on one, just waiting to meet the theater owner, and it was really cool. And I'm not someone who's into poetry at all, but it was really cool to see these people just kind of stand in front of a mic and read some poetry.
Right.
I thought it was also funny that they were reading from Kindles and from ebooks and stuff. I thought that was it's interesting to me. Of course, throughout the rest of the month, these next 2 weekends, every Friday and Saturday there is the Irvington Ghost Tours that meet at the theater, starting at 7 p.m. Let's see, what else? They have a songwriters circle on October 24th. Okay, yes, and then the 25th is the Saturday the 25th is the day of the Irvington Halloween Festival. They have a midnight screening of Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's only $6, and
those are always really fun.
Yeah,
cool.
I've yet to see it ever, so I might try to go to that one.
And I was telling Matt that should be his first experience with the movie, because he was kind of
absolutely.
He was kind of debating whether to see it on DVD first and then do the theater experience, but I think
you must see it.
Yeah,
you must
Okay.
see it in theaters.
Okay.
On a screen. With
I'd like
people.
to as well because I've
Nice.
only seen it on in home on DVD. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can, I'll totally go to that.
Cool.
And then also on November 6th at 7:30 p.m. they have this movie that I believe it's a locally produced movie. It's a I think a documentary called Science, Sex, and the Ladies. It's the true story of female orgasm, which should be interesting, and it sounds really good.
Shut up and take my money.
Exactly. And then finally on Saturday, November 8th, they have a screening of Repo the Genetic Opera, which I've heard really good things about. It's $8 and it's supposedly a lot of fun. It's a really cool rock opera from my understanding. So yeah, and you can find all the information for what's coming up at the Irving Theater at theirving.com. And there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. They just had Aaron Carter have a concert there the day after ours. It's funny because the marquee said Shocktober Friday, Aaron Carter Saturday. I was like, bucket list. Not really, but
awesome.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, and then don't forget to please support the filmmakers and creative people who were nice enough to submit films to our event. You can find the first one, J.P. Leck, at elsewhereworld.com. He has a couple of radio plays coming up. It's going to be the week of Halloween. Go to his website, and he'll be announcing that. And then go to BillyandBrandon.com, who submitted the second film. And they will be appearing with us at Starbase Indie, the convention that will be the weekend of Thanksgiving, that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They've got a ton of stuff going on.
Yeah.
We'll be at a panel. We'll have a booth there as well. So definitely support those guys. I mean, they were nice enough to help support us, and they're really talented. We like their movies, and we like their other stuff. So check them out.
Cool. Does that about cover everything?
I believe it does.
Nice.
Sweet.
Any parting thoughts on Shocktober in Irvington, guys?
I just can't wait to do it again. It was awesome.
Yeah. Samesies.
Totes.
Samesies. Awesome. All right. And of course, thank you to everyone that came out and supported us in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, can't wait to do it again next year, guys.
Alrighty.
All right.